Hello and welcome to A Muggle's Perspective. This week we are covering chapters 29 through 32 of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I am joined today by a special guest, Braden. Braden, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
All right, so whenever we have a guest...
Indiana, the Sunshine State.
Yeah, we like to ask kind of how you got into Harry Potter, what's your Hogwarts house, so can you kind of give the listeners a rundown of that so we kind of know who you are?
Absolutely. So I am 18. I am originally from South Dakota, and I have never seen Harry Potter, read Harry Potter before this podcast.
Sure.
I am a tried and true Hufflepuff, ask all my friends. And what else can I say? What else should I answer?
No, that's great. Who's your favorite character? And why is it Snape?
Yikes. It is never Snape. My favorite character, probably Hagrid right now.
Right. Because you're a raging alcoholic 18-year-old. Well, smart to jump in where you did then, Graydon. Here on chapter 29, we're 3/4 of the way through the 4th book in a 7-book series. Chapter 29, The Dream. You gotta love the chapter artwork here.
Yes, it is a small Harry riding a majestic owl bird.
It's so big. And I am scared.
Also, it's very close to the ground. Like the look on Harry's face doesn't have a ton of fear in it, but it seems like it should. Because
the owl might crash?
Well, yeah, there's like a house they're flying way too close to this hill, and there's a house in the background. And it kind of seems like this owl bird is much larger than said house. Is there
any perspective that we can look at to see that maybe they're just really high in the air and the hill is small? I'm not getting that though because of the shadow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The shadow doesn't really lend itself to any kind of
perspective finagling.
Yeah.
Kind of proportion.
I don't know. The artwork is neat nonetheless, though. I enjoy that about these books, the chapter artwork. The chapter artwork.
I really like the chapter artwork.
I really enjoy it. It's really good artwork.
I like it too. So we enter the dream, still kind of reeling from the Mr. Crouch situation that happened at the end of the last chapter, called The Madness of Mr. Crouch. Can you catch us up to speed on what's going on with Barty C?
So where we left Bartemius, he had... Well, let me back up a little bit. Harry and Victor Crumb kind of wandered off into the forest together. Seemingly a really dumb move on Harry's part, but Victor wanted to talk to him about whether Hermione is Harry's girlfriend. So basically that conversation gets cut short or interrupted by a senile Barty Crouch stumbling through the woods, mumbling to what sounds like he thinks is his kids. Also possibly Percy Weasley. And then Harry I think Harry approaches him, if I remember right, and he ends up like snapping out of weird, crazy Bartemius Crouch to like crazy but really dead serious Bartemius Crouch.
Right.
And kind of looks Harry in the eye and mumbles some stuff about how Voldemort's getting stronger and that he needs to warn Dumbledore. To which he says, Crumb, just hang out with him and I'll go get him.
Yeah, I don't understand why he doesn't take him to Dumbledore.
That would have made more sense in my head.
Right.
You know, when you're 14, what are you going to do?
So, long story short, Dumbledore gets back down there and Crouch seems to have attacked Crumb and run away. And so this is the cause for a lot of theorizing among Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Did any of these stick out to you as particularly good theories here in the first couple pages?
Well, let's walk through them. Hermione thinks either Mr. Crouch attacked Victor or somebody else attacked both of them when Victor wasn't looking. That seems more likely to me, and I feel good about that because Hermione is usually right and usually logical. Usually a couple steps ahead.
So what's your guess as to who would have attacked them?
Knowing what I know now after reading this chapter, we know that Karkaroff was a Death Eater, possibly still a Death Eater, and was banished to Azkaban by Barty Crouch.
Sure. A little bit of a grudge.
So that would explain, like, Crouch being attacked. It doesn't really explain Crumb being attacked unless Karkaroff set it up. Like, found Crumb there with Crouch, attacked Crouch, and was like, Victor, you need to lie down and act really sick. And okay, boss. And
if that's the case, he plays it off really well because he's ticked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought maybe he comes upon them and sees Crouch attacking Victor, and for that reason is extra mad. Victor's already attacked, so he attacks Crouch. Does that work?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the other way you can spin this, which is a little bit more of the easy route, maybe, is Lord Voldemort.
You know, everyone knows he walks around the grounds of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Attacking senile old men.
Yeah.
Stars,
or Wormtail, right? Probably more likely Wormtail for Lord Voldemort.
Right. Because Wormtail is really good at magic and good at carrying out plans.
Well, that kind of, I think that lends into that theory then, because presumably he was sent to, I don't know, hurt Crouch or capture Crouch, and he gets there and he's like, oh crap, there's a kid.
Sure.
I better hurt him too.
Yeah. What do you think it is about Crouch then that they're targeting as opposed to Harry?
Well, I mean, Crouch's like life goal is to put away Death Eaters, right? That's kind of like the picture we get of him with, like all the trials that we walk through later in this chapter in Harry's dream. One thing I thought about too, we don't ever find out what, well, no, we do. We do find out. Doesn't it say that Crouch's son dies in prison?
Yeah.
In Azkaban?
Right.
Do we know that for sure?
I mean, Sirius says that he watched them bury him.
Because in my head, I thought it'd be kind of cool if like everyone thought he was dead, and maybe he was dead, and he comes back.
Oh.
He's like as a ghost or something, and is like,
interesting.
Yo, Dad, I'm back.
So he comes back against his dad. He comes back on the side of Tad Voldemort. Or does he come back and it turns out he was framed all along and he really doesn't love Voldemort?
Yeah, that's. I think you could go either way. Maybe he comes back thinking he's going to be against his dad, and then he sees him in his like crazed state, and is like, "Man, I feel so bad for my dad, and I still love him, so I'll kidnap him
to save him from Voldemort." Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of options here.
So we've got a lot of theories.
It's Crouch.
Who does? Ron?
Ron?
I like when Ron goes, okay, Crouch attacks Crumb, and then, wait for it, stuns himself. And Hermione's like, Ron, that doesn't make any sense. Ron's like, oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So they've got all these theories. They figured they should go talk to Moody.
Mm-hmm.
That's my next talking point here. No, not true. Next talking point is while they're talking about these theories, Ron's brothers, Fred and George, walk up the stairs to the Owlry just going, well, blackmail. I think you could blackmail.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with this.
Right. This started as a do we care, and then it became clear that there weren't enough talking points in this chapter, and that became a full talking point, is what's going on with the twins here.
Yeah, I knew that this would be a full talking point and that you would probably want me to make some sort of wild prediction, and I have not the slightest clue what is going on with these two.
Who they could be blackmailing? Are they joking? Are they really blackmailing someone? Or are they just joking?
I don't know who they would be after. I sat and thought about this. I read these chapters last night, and I kind of sat and racked my brain, like, who... Because we don't really get any kind of glimpse as far as, like, enemies that Fred and George have.
Right.
I mean, there's any scene that we have with them where we hear them talking or they're interacting with Ron, Harry, or Hermione, like, it's usually pretty short, usually pretty comical, or, like, they're screwing up another, like, joke experiment and Dudley is swelling up or whatever. Like, it's pretty short-lived usually. So, like,
We've never gotten an indication that they're in any way not on the side of good for any reason.
Yeah. So that's what I mean when I don't know what to do with it.
So what do
it's
we
very
make
suspicious.
Sure. Ron tries to be like, well, they've been really into money lately. I noticed it when I was hanging out with them because I thought I was jealous of Harry. So I was hanging out with them a lot, and they just kept talking about money in their joke shop. So, but we buy that they could be blackmailing someone. Do we buy it or not buy it?
I think they could be. One thing that came to mind was Percy.
Oh, sure. They've got dirt.
Yeah. But I don't even understand the dynamic of what they need to blackmail someone for.
Mm-hmm.
There's just really no backstory here. It's just they show up and they're talking about blackmailing somebody. And it's weird.
Maybe someone's trying to steal their Canary Creams patent.
Maybe. But they keep showing up throughout this book. And if I know anything about JKR so far, like, she doesn't just do this for no good reason.
Right.
And she's been just vague and indirect enough with Fred and George in this book that, like, I feel like it's important. Like, if you were to ask me right now, do you care about this? I would say I care.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't have any cool predictions or, like, what I think's happening.
You're just standing there watching it happen. You're like, I see that it's trying to happen, but I can't do anything with it right now. I just have to wait till it gets to its end point.
I need something else. I need more details.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. We get some Fred and George. Then we go talk to Moody. Moody's got some Crouch thoughts. Moody has the map at this point, and he has the magical eye. So if anyone's going to be good at finding someone here, it would be Mad-Eye Moody.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't find him.
Yes, it took a leaf out of your book, Potter. Summoned it from my office into the forest. He wasn't anywhere on there. So he did disapparate, said Ron. And Hermione's about to flip a table. This is like the 4th time she's told them you can't disapparate on school grounds.
Can't disapparate, can't use walkie-talkies. Do you guys ever listen to me? But I mean, Moody doesn't really give theories. I mean, he's like, yeah, it could be kidnap. Like, that's fair. But like at this point, you guys just need to chill out. Like, I know that you think that you're the boxcar children, but
Man, that's something I haven't thought about since I was in like 6th grade.
nice. I mean, Dancy Drew didn't work, and Hardy Boys didn't quite work. I guess it could be like Mystery Inc.
What did the Hardy Boys do again?
They were just boy Nancy Drews.
Okay.
I did not read a lot of either Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I read a lot of Boxcar Children, but I stopped reading it in like 1st or 2nd grade, so I couldn't tell you a lot of how that worked. They lived in a boxcar.
Yeah, I only read like 1 or 2 of them. I was way more into the
Magic Tree House.
Yes. Yeah.
I
I was
just
about to
pegged
say
you as a
Magic
Magic Tree
School
House
Bus.
guy.
I was about to say Magic School Bus, and while I was into that for a time as well, I knew it wasn't a book series.
I mean, there probably are Magic School Bus books or whatever.
Yeah.
Magic Tree House is the
Magic
one
Treehouse.
that are like a leopard in the limelight, or like
Yes. Yeah, the really like punny.
dingoes at dinner time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric was into those. I never read them.
Yeah, they were good for what they were.
Mm-hmm. I think they got you through SSR.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Moody's like, you guys just chill out on that. Focus on the fact that you've got a task coming up, and you sort of realize, yeah, you're right. We haven't really been thinking much about this task.
He also thinks that Hermione should consider being an Auror as well.
And then later, Ron just gives himself the idea. He's like, for when we're all Aurors, just like everyone thinks that all 3 of us are gonna be, guys.
Do you remember when Moody said that we were all gonna be Aurors? All 3 of us.
Ring, ring. That's gonna be the school bell. Everybody, listen to the teacher.
It's gonna be so cool, you guys.
Man, when we're all Aurors. That's pretty
Big
good.
meme.
I was quoting something totally different, and that's fine.
What were you quoting?
Did you ever see the Donald Glover like YouTube videos before he was famous? He was in
like when he was on Community?
No, before that. What
are
they called? Oh shoot. It was kind of like Whitest Kids You Know.
Okay,
but Donald Glover
should I look them up after?
Yeah, they're pretty
Like, are
funny.
they that funny?
And so they're pretty funny. So one of them is he plays a character named Jerry, who's like the cool skateboarder kid, and he sits down in class, it's high-fiving his buddies, and then he just poops his pants really bad. I mean, like, it's a bunch of poop sound effects. And so then he's trying to like reset the class, and he's like, let's just pretend this never happened. And you like, it's fun. Like, you have to be there. You gotta see it. I would everyone just go ahead, pause this, look up. I don't know what it's called. Jerry. What is the name of that series? It's Derek Comedy. That's what those are called. Derek Comedy, yep. Jerry, maybe.
Yep.
That was for all the Steven Sells out there who are definitely listening. That's what that reference was for. So then we're just talking about task 3. Right. And then Harry falls asleep. Harry goes to divination and he just says, screw this, I'm falling asleep.
Except
I skipped some pages, but
this is no ordinary sleep.
No, what do you make of this? Is this a dream?
No, I think it's I don't know, what would Trelawney call it?
Like a vision?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's seeing, I think he's seeing what's actually happening, right?
So that's your interpretation?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it definitely seems like it's not like memories of things he's seen before.
Yeah, so it's Wormtail and Voldemort and Nagini and It appears that Wormtail has screwed it up again.
Yeah, that's the big
I'm
takeaway
reading
is that
here.
there was some kind of blunder.
Yeah. Your blunder has not ruined everything. He is dead.
So that's a lot to take in. What do you make of it?
I was wondering if they're talking about Crouch.
Oh, wow. That dovetails with your theory of them coming in and being involved in that.
Yeah. So then maybe they just went ahead and killed him. But why would they have? I mean, they need him out of the way because he's so suspicious and after Death Eaters all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he knows something in his investigations.
Yeah, and if they are working with Ludo Bagman, he kind of becomes the next in charge now of the Triwizard Tournament.
That's true. He's got the power. So Harry sees all this. He sees Wormtail being tortured. And then the gist of pretty much the rest of the chapter is that he gets up and runs to Dumbledore's office because Sirius told him to talk to Dumbledore.
Yeah, which I was actually excited about that because
it seems logical.
It seems logical, and he's not worried about like, I don't want to talk about my scar. I don't want Dumbledore to know.
That's what he did in Chamber, where he was hearing these voices. Dumbledore was like, "Have you been hearing any voices?" He goes, "Not me. No, I'm just a normal guy. I don't voices.
Just Harry Potter, bro."
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he's kind of getting over that and realizing that action needs to be taken.
And then, so he's listening in on Dumbledore talk to Moody and Fudge about the Crouch disappearance. And I don't know, you might have something different. My big takeaway from this is just Fudge ignoring Dumbledore, being like, no, nothing's connected. And then also just being racist.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of desperate at this point, accusing Madame Maxine.
With, like, what proof?
Right. Which why is he so... Because the other ones are trying to tell him that it's Voldemort.
Right.
Is he just saving face with that because he wants his reputation to stay intact? Like, is he...
I mean, he's a politician, so right. Probably, right?
So he's like, everything's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, because if Voldemort comes back, that means a whole thing. And that's a whole thing that he has to deal with. And it doesn't make him look good. He's the guy that let Dumbledore come back.
Exactly.
That let Voldemort come back. Yep. Not the first time I've said Dumbledore when I meant Voldemort.
Well,
don't think about it. Don't think about it too hard.
Is there a connection there?
Yeah, the number of syllables.
Hey, Dumbledore is on Team Snape, so can we trust him?
Who's to say? The only reason we trust Snape at all is because Dumbledore trusts him, and it's like, I don't know. Can we trust Dumbledore now?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Can we trust Harry? Is Harry the villain?
Harry trusts Dumbledore, and Dumbledore trusts Snape. So, like, come on. Really, Hermione is the only. Hermione's the protagonist. The only one that
can trust.
Oh yeah, that's true. We can trust that Malfoy's gonna Malfoy.
Yeah.
He consistently Malfoys.
Yeah.
So Fudge is like, yeah, I mean, it was probably Maxime because she's like a giant. So.
And we all know that giants eat people.
Yeah, exclusive. Every giant eats every person. You know Hagrid's always eating people. Don't know what you see in the guy.
Like, we can confidently make a blanket statement about giants as, a population that they're prone to anger and violence and eating people. So it was probably Madame Maxine, let's be honest.
Like, didn't Potter say he heard fee fi fo fum? Like in the background? I think Potter said that. Didn't you? Did you say that, Potter? I mean, what I like that chapter 30 just leads directly in. Like, we don't skip any time. All the times you open up a chapter and it says, it's at least the next morning, Harry and Ron were tired because they'd been talking about whatever. Or sometimes it's like, the next 9 weeks were some of Harry's toughest.
Yeah.
We lose no time here. I don't know if I should make anything of that. So there's a lot to get into in this chapter. So I'm going to keep the topics broad here. First, general thoughts on the pensieve. Also, how were you going to pronounce it? Dang it. Shrewded it.
I was going to say the pensieve.
Honestly, I've heard it both ways. Like the adjective, like pensive, he's a pensive person.
Well, I was thinking of it as like a play on words, right?
What words?
Like when you're thoughtful, you're pensive.
Uh-huh.
And when you need to sort of sort things out, i.e. like, isn't that like a cooking utensil that helps like drain water or something? A sieve?
That's a colander.
Colander?
Yeah.
But that's a thing.
Are you thinking of a sifter that you use? You squeeze it and then flour comes out, and I don't understand it.
What does a sieve do?
A sieve, I feel like a sieve is kind of like what you would use to pan for gold. Like it's going to catch the things and let the liquid flow through it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So
it's similar to a
for
colander.
gold.
I think the holes are smaller than a colander, maybe. You ever just call them like strainers? We used to just call them strainers. Yeah,
my mom called it a strainer. I didn't know what a sieve was until I had like a teacher in middle school that said like that used the expression like leaking like a sieve.
Right.
And we were all like, what the f is a sieve?
And she was like, it's got holes in it.
Yeah, she took like 10 minutes to explain to us what a sieve is. So
Classic Mr. McClamrock. The classic Tom Lutz.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was neither of them.
That's just all of the North teachers that I know. Actually, one of the teachers that I worked with at Lakeview, who's been teaching science there for 30 years or something, previously he started his career teaching at North for a couple years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It would have been like in the 80s.
Okay.
So I don't know. Your parents are probably too old to have had him. I don't know how old your parents are. I don't know that I've ever...
they graduated.
When?
They graduated in 89, so...
Okay, I guess could have. I've never met your parents.
Yeah. I haven't either.
Met your parents?
Yeah.
I literally can't picture Mr. or Mrs. Carpenter.
Mr. Carpenter looks just like me with a goatee.
Okay. Gross.
My mom...
looks just like...
Looks nothing like
your
me.
sister.
No, she looks nothing like any of us. We didn't get any of her genes at all.
You're just all little dads.
Yep. We're all pale-skinned, freckly carpenters.
Okay.
And my mom's like super dark-skinned and from Florida.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
From Florida.
The carpenter gene is strong.
Okay. So, to get way back on track, any general thoughts, observations of the pensieve, how it works, what it is?
It's a great idea.
Is it interesting to you?
I like it. Yeah.
You care.
I like it. I want one. So if we can make that happen, that'd be great. The whole idea of like, man, I've just got too much going on in my head right now. I need to like take ideas out and put them somewhere where I can come back to them. I like that a lot.
Does it seem consistent to you? Like I can see Dumbledore having one of these, or is it kind of like, whoa, that's way bigger than I thought magic was?
I think I surpassed that mindset a long time ago reading these books. Like there's nothing that J.K.R. could throw at me now that I'm like, hold on. Like I thought we were talking about magic.
You've lost your childlike sense of wonder with that. You're rolling with
Oh,
it.
yeah. I try not to let myself get too wrapped up in anything like that anymore.
For me, there's just a little bit of like, oh, so memories just equal magic. You can just point, like you don't see him do it here. Do we see you see him do it here? Dumbledore, you just like touch your head with your wand and are like, and memory in the bowl. And it's like you didn't have to do a spell. Like you can just see some physical like memory fluff. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure there is like powerful magic imbued in the pensive. Like things were done to it to make it be able to interact with memories in this way, but no thoughts on Harry just breaking and entering to find it?
This is a curious teenage boy. He didn't break anything. He didn't break in anywhere. He basically just fell into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Dumbledore says when he gets back, like, well, I did leave the cupboard open, so I get it.
I feel like that's just Dumbledore basically telling Harry, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be mad. Like, sure, yeah, I could have. It's my fault, so.
I think it's more that Dumbledore wanted him to use it.
Oh, interesting. It was planted.
Yeah.
That's smart. Did he plant the memories in it specifically that he left in for Harry to see?
Yes, I think so.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about each of these memories and maybe see if we can get into why Dumbledore would want Harry to see that.
Okay.
First, he goes into... So he dives in, and it's like he's in a courtroom kind of dungeon deal.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a pretty good mental picture. You're like, sure, a courtroom dungeon. Next question. I'm on it.
I'm there.
There's a courtroom dungeon. You're sitting next to young Dumbles and like a younger Moody kind of.
Yep, his eyes aren't screwed up or anything. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 functional eyes.
He's got a nose, like a full nose.
Does he?
He does. He is like, got my nose at one of these guys. That's true. Yeah. Maybe he has 2 legs this time or something.
Yeah.
And so who comes out but Igor Karkaroff?
Yes.
How meaningful is this Karkaroff to you that you're seeing here? Let's continue clarifying that everyone in here is younger than what we're used to them being.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so yeah, he's on the stand, getting his sentence read by a younger Bartemius Crouch. And
I have a cool laugh. My laugh's really neat, and everyone loves listening to it. Keep going.
What was the question?
Karkaroff
kind of sounds like you just cussed at me in another language.
Karkaroff comes out and Crouch is like, all right, so you're a Death Eater, like we all know. And he's like, whoa, I've got names. And I feel like we're learning kind of about this time period here. What are your takeaways?
Yeah, it's like a witch hunt, right?
Yeah. Punny.
I think. I mean, all I could think about this entire chapter was the fact that the last name was Snape.
Right. He says some names, and every time they're like, "Oh, dead." Oh, that guy.
Not important.
Already in jail.
Already got him.
That guy,
dead.
He's also dead.
Yeah.
And he's like Severus Snape, and like, oh, interesting. Well, they don't really pause. Dumbledore mostly just stands up and is like, "I vouched for him."
Yeah, and I just have a real problem with that. That drives a wedge in my view of who Dumbledore is.
So in your mind, there's nothing that you could find out about Snape that would make you be like, all right, I get like Dumbledore is standing up for him for a reason that makes sense.
No, I think that is... I'm sure that's where I will get to.
Okay.
I'm saying right now, with the information I have, it's and just knowing how Snape operates, how he treats Harry,
Right.
just that he's sort of slimy and sneaky, and like it's not hard for me to imagine that he's still affiliated with the Death Eaters somehow.
He doesn't act like he's totally turned away. It
No,
is just
not at all.
he's not McGonagall now.
No.
He's just like,
So that
his thing is like, I am technically no longer a Death Eater.
Right.
Like I'm just on the other side of the line, but I'm
While
on the
I'm
other
at
side.
work, while I am inside Hogwarts, I am not a Death Eater. So yeah, it kind of bothers me. Like I don't want to believe that Dumbledore is naive or anything and made a mistake. But I mean, this whole dream scene or pensive scene like really raises some questions. Knowing what I know about Snape's character, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to question Dumbledore. It feels wrong. But it's happening, if I'm being honest.
Because Karkaroff just calls him out. Karkaroff does get a name right before Snape. Right? Rookwood.
Yeah, what's the deal on him again?
Let's see. Rookwood, who was a spy, and passed he who must not be named useful information from inside the ministry itself.
Yeah. So how do we know that Snape is doing that?
It's just, I mean, he's trusted because Dumbledore vouches for him. Like, that's it. That's all we know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You want
need to know more.
Concrete. It's like, how did you prove it to Dumbledore? Prove it to me.
Yeah, I want the whole backstory on Snape, and I know that JKR is not going to give it to me in a lump sum, but like, I want this to break off now, and in the next like 3 chapters, let's just learn about Snape, where he was born, what his home life was like, and what kind of student he was at Hogwarts, and how he got involved with Death Eaters, and like I want a spin-off of Snape's life now.
Because, like, say what you will, he's an interesting character. Not likable, but interesting.
No, he's vital to the story.
In ways,
you gotta have
like,
Snape for this to go anywhere.
You just look at the guy and you're like, this is important, and I don't know how entirely. I just know it's going to be important.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
So those are our big takeaways from Karkaroff. A lot of people getting captured these days, it seems like. A lot of people getting killed. This has got to be just after the Voldemort Harry showdown versus Voldemort versus Baby Harry.
Yeah. And Crouch is pretty like, oh, what? He's a Death Eater? Hangs out with Death Eaters? Azkaban.
Yeah. Like, has met Death Eaters, is in Slytherin? Azkaban.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he just, I think he said Death Eater. Yeah, throw him in Azkaban.
We'll just ask questions later.
Yeah. He's my son? I don't care. Throw him in Azkaban.
But he seems to, I mean, like, clearly Karkaroff gets off with this Rookwood information because we see him as the headmaster of Durmstrang.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Karkaroff gets off, and he is still in communication with Snape, we know, because of the last chapter we read where he, like, burst into the classroom and was like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from with, like, I really need to know what made Dumbledore think he should vouch for him, because it doesn't seem like he should have.
Okay. So then the dungeon leaves, and then we get the dungeon again, and Ludo Bagman is there? He doesn't get brought out by Dementors and stuff. He just walks out and sits down. It's like, hello.
Yeah, and he is entering into a completely fair trial where the jury is not biased at all.
So that's your immediate takeaway. It's not like, because you seemed to be, I'm not like critical, but like you were quick on the thing where it's like Crouch is just throwing people in jail left, right, and center. Right. But now we're going to criticize the people going the other way because they're not even considering that this Quidditch star could have done something bad.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that one of your jurors stands up before the trial starts and thanks him for his performance in the World Cup of Quidditch for England. Like, oh, and then everybody starts clapping. It's like, okay. I mean, this isn't a fair trial.
It's interesting because, I mean, I don't know what the differences are from like a pop culture and like sporting perspective in England versus here and in the almost 20 years since she wrote this book, but we've seen some athletes go on trial, like in my lifetime, that I can think of. And I wasn't really around for the OJ thing. I don't know exactly how that went. I don't know if it was treated the same way. But that was a pretty harsh, like, he was accused of something
Kind of reminds me
pretty
of
intense.
that, honestly. Yeah.
Where it was sort of like, I mean, it's OJ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were two sides of it for sure.
Right.
But
like,
yeah, that's an interesting
didn't happen.
point.
It didn't happen with Kobe Bryant, which everyone forgets about. The Colorado Springs
What do you mean?
thing.
What do you mean it didn't happen?
Like,
with Kobe
I don't
Bryant?
remember watching footage of like him walking to the courtroom and people just cheering for him and he's waving to the crowd. It was more like coming down on him, like it's hiding your face. He wasn't in the same position that Bagman is. It seems like, where Bagman can just kind of grin and be like, "My bad."
See, that's where I think the OJ thing, at least from documentaries that I've watched, like it was kind of like that in some ways.
Sure.
He definitely had a following that was like, I mean, he had people like cheering for him when he was in the Bronco running from the cops, like people lining up on the bridge, like with signs, like "We love you, OJ," and so that is an interesting comparison.
Yeah, I know there's been several documentaries about that recently. I don't really know hardly anything about it. Somehow I just missed it, and I didn't watch any of the
They're worth
ESPN
your time.
coverage. Yeah?
Yeah, they're very interesting, especially like not, we weren't alive or like weren't a part, or we were alive, but we were not like old enough to understand what was going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it was going on like as I was born, but it's really cool then to like be able to take what you learned from that documentary and like ask your parents about it because they were living through it, and it was on every news channel. It was like dominating media. Yeah. So.
And I don't know, I mean, I don't want to go too far with this comparison because of the race thing. I mean, like so many of our most beloved athletes, like or best athletes and that kind of stuff, highest profile athletes are black, or I mean, even the baseball, steroids, Alex Rodriguez, I mean, a lot of Latino guys implicated in that. So it's kind of a different thing.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, maybe like maybe like Tom Brady, like a Deflategate thing.
Yeah.
Be the closest comparison.
Yeah.
That was always like, we're in court for this. Like, court.
It's a lot of money getting thrown around.
Yeah, it is. And that's even as a Colts fan. Okay, so what are your takeaways other than that, the cheering fans, other takeaways from Ludo Bagman being in this courtroom?
He obviously had some affiliation with Death Eaters, whether on purpose or accidental. Right?
He doesn't even deny it. He's like, yes, I was giving information to Rookwood, but I did not know that he was a Death Eater.
His quote is, "I was a bit of an idiot." And everyone's like, "Ha, Ludo, love that guy."
Yeah. So I guess, where do you come down on this? Do you think that he was just mistaken? I mean, it's Ludo, like it can happen to anyone, or this is a very convenient cover-up?
I think he's a villain. I feel more confident about it after this.
This is like a sociopath, like this is just his way of just grinning and using his fame to get out of it.
I don't know yet where he fits in with the whole Voldemort thing that's coming about in the background, but I feel like he's directly involved with like getting Harry in the Triwizard Tournament and maybe handing him over to Voldemort.
Yeah,
through the Triwizard Tournament or something.
he definitely has some control over that. I mean, that's kind of his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And he was the announcer. He's one of the big guys for the Quidditch World Cup, and there was a whole Death Eater thing that sprang up there.
Yeah, seems like he's always around trouble, but he kind of like stays just far enough to where people don't accuse him directly.
He's just famous enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I do like that he turns to Dumbledore when Bagman walks out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this guy get a job at the Ministry? Fat when pigs fly, right? No way." And now they're like full-on colleagues. Okay, last trial, a little more serious, a little less lighthearted. We've got the Lestrange Crouch trial. Walk me through what these guys are there for, who they are, and what their sentencing is, and just the vibe. What are your takeaways from this trial?
This was a little more. I could see this scene in the movie being kind of emotional. You know what I mean? I guess you've got this whole vibe of like there are these four. Are they all kids?
No, Crouch's son is the youngest.
Okay. But the other three are like, yeah, we're Death Eaters and go ahead and throw us in Azkaban and we will be back. Right?
Yeah. I mean, the other three are described as like a man and a woman and a man and then a teen
But doesn't
boy.
the woman speak out? Like,
yes, yeah. I mean,
Dark Lord will rise again.
Yeah, those other three are not apologetic in any way.
Yeah.
They're like, throw us in Azkaban. You know, that's going to be our thing, is that we're the ones that tried to get him back. He's going to reward us when he comes back. I mean, they're just Looney Tunes, like in the tank for Voldemort.
They're viewing themselves as martyrs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's Crouch's son, who's like freaking out. You know, I didn't mean to. I don't know what's going on. Like, you got to get me out of here. And so they're all on trial for, I think they put the torturing curse on who we find out are Neville's parents.
Yes, correct.
Frank and something Longbottom.
Alice, yeah.
Yeah. And what did Frank and Alice do again?
Well,
Were they Aurors?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Dumbledore talks about it later, and we can always get into it a little bit later, sort of all the fallout of this information. But Dumbledore says that they were really well liked. They were popular people. They were excellent wizards. Like, this isn't, not to diminish if it had been an attack on someone less well known, but I mean, it just is what it is. Like, if a famous person is killed, it gets more press and people care about it more than if a homeless person's killed, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So overall the vibe of this trial is like kind of eerie, I think is the best word. Does this one make the movie?
Yes.
And so I feel like this one's going to be kind of, you're going to experience different emotions for this scene. Some anger, some sadness, some confusion.
There's a lot of anger. There's like yelling over the people trying to plead their case. There's Crouch's wife there just sobbing.
Yeah. Crouch, I feel like, takes a special kind of cold, special kind of like heartless to not even, to be so short and decisive when your son's life is on the line like that.
Here's my thing, is that the move, it's very simple. The move is get another judge to come in here and make this pronouncement. It's my son.
Yeah.
Like there's a conflict of
Yeah.
interest here. He could have taken that 10 times out of 10. But it was almost like he was like, no. This is how much I hate dark wizards. Is that I'm even going to stay in for my own son. See, my credentials are unimpeachable.
Yeah, that's crazy. Doesn't he go as far as to say, like, I have no son?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm your son. He's like, no, I don't have a son. Yeah, so it's just very intense. It's emotionally hefty sort of scene.
Yeah. I thought that when reading it, that just the level of emotional heft.
Mm-hmm. It weighed on you a little bit.
It did. It felt hefty. Emotionally.
So we've got a little bit of cool down. Harry gets to go back to Dumbledore and be like, hey, can we talk about this stuff? First of all, sorry, not sorry. Used your pensive. He tells him about the dream. He asks about his scar hurting. And Dumbledore gives sort of a theory. Do you remember what Dumbledore said about Harry's scar?
Yeah, I wanted to find it specifically, like the quote.
It's on 79%. It's after Dumbledore shows Harry how the pensive works.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
And he's like, yeah, I talked to Sirius. I know about everything. I know about your scar hurting.
Yes. I do know. Please continue. And so Dumbledore, he tells him all that. Dumbledore says, I see. Now, has your scar hurt at any other time this year, excepting the time it woke you up over the summer?
So then kind of on the next page, Harry's like, I mean, no, but like, can you tell me why? Like, why is this hurting? And Dumbledore says he has a theory.
Because you and he are connected by the curse that failed.
Mm-hmm.
That is no ordinary scar.
So it's his belief that, he says, it is my belief that your scar hurts both when Lord Voldemort is near you and when he's feeling a particularly strong surge of hatred. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what makes me think that like, do you think when Harry has these dreams that he's seeing what's happening real time? And, you know, like in the dream that we just were a part of, Voldemort has a serious surge of hatred towards Wormtail. Like,
Right.
cast the torture curse on him. I can't ever remember the name of it.
He uses Crucio.
Yeah.
He casts the Cruciatus curse.
Yeah.
Because it's excruciating. Kind of like that.
Like being crucified.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is interesting.
Kind of lends credence to your idea that what Harry saw in his dream was real. It wasn't just a dream.
Yeah, I think so.
We get a little bit of Longbottom conversation.
Yeah, basically that they were rock stars in the wizarding world.
And Dumbledore is like, you didn't know? this about Neville's parents? Like, he's a little surprised by that.
Yeah. And so they went insane from being stuck in that Crucio curse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they basically live in like an insane asylum and they don't even recognize Neville, which this was kind of like a, oh, man, I shouldn't be so mean to Neville moment.
Yeah, I was going to ask how this informs your view of Neville.
Yeah, I would say you have sympathy for Neville now that maybe you didn't before.
Before, it was just like he's a bumbling doof.
Yes. And still is, to be fair. But I think you can have a little more grace on him now. Or you can extend grace easier than you could before.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think he's never told Harry about this?
Do you think he even knows? I don't know why I'm asking you.
Well, Dumbledore says, I believe Neville visits them with his grandmother during the holidays.
He could visit them and not know like their past, like the story about them.
I guess. Why would
like
his
if they
grandmother tell him?
I don't know if his grandmother was trying to like shield him from. I don't know.
Here's your parents. They don't know you or me. They're crazy. Why? Why are they crazy?
They were in a car accident.
Yeah. Flashing green light, and as a car accident does. What's a car? Yeah. Don't worry about it. No, I guess that's true. Harry does ask him about Snape.
Yeah, Dumbledore's pretty tight-lipped about it.
And he just straight up is like, why do you trust him? Why do you think he's not a Death Eater? So why don't you think Dumbledore just tells him why he thinks that?
I don't know. It bothers me. I don't know if he's trying to keep like the line of authority in place. Like we can't just sit and talk about one of your authority figures behind his back like this.
It's like a because I said so situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch on in this chapter before we go to chapter 30? Chapter 31.
I don't think so.
Okay, let's get a quick howler in here.
Hey guys, this is Emily Austin, your friendly Ravenclaw friend. I was just wondering whether either of you, but more specifically Rogge, has started playing Wizards Unite, because I've been playing and it's been pretty fun, and there could probably be some enjoyable discussions regarding it maybe in the future on your show. That's all for now, and I look forward to hearing your answer. Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. Well, thanks, Emily, for calling in. Braden, do you know what this is? Harry Potter Wizards Unite?
Nope. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Okay. Do you know what Pokemon Go is?
Yes.
Okay. So did you know that?
Vaguely.
Okay. Come on. It swept the nation. It was a whole thing. I'm
about as into Pokemon as I was into Harry Potter before we started this podcast.
I don't have time to deal with that right now, but like you need to get your life together, dude.
Do I?
Yes. Okay, we did a whole thing. We called it Werpapa, Watch Rachel Play Pokemon, because like Eric and my buddy Brett and I, you've met Brett. Have you heard of Werpapa? You've met Brett.
No.
Anyway, we've played the original Pokemon games a bunch of times. Like it's what we did as a kid. Like especially, I was 6 years old when the Pokemon craze hit. Like I'm ground zero.
Yeah.
And Rachel knew nothing. She was like, "What's a Pikachu? I don't know what is that." So we just sat her down because I have a thing that lets you play Game Boy games up on the TV, like through the Super Nintendo. And we would just sit and watch and eat popcorn, and we weren't allowed to tell her what to do. We weren't allowed to tell her go this way, go that way. She doesn't know what an RPG is. She doesn't know what. She's the only video game she's ever played is Pikmin and Mario Kart. Like she doesn't know what's going on. And we spent like 30 hours like once a week, sitting down and just spending all Friday evening. That's what we did on our Friday evenings, was watch Rachel play Pokemon. And she would never properly pronounce the Pokemon the first time. She'd be like, "Oh, it's a Snurfahafiga," and we'd be like, "Yep, that's what it's called, the Snurfahafiga." Like we would just roll with whatever she said. So Rachel would love to do a Pokemon perspective with you.
Yeah,
you've got a lot of extra time to record podcasts, and once we get done with this, you're gonna want to roll right into the next one.
Yeah, for sure. What I said earlier wasn't completely true. I definitely had more experience with Pokemon than I did Harry Potter. Like I played the Game Boy games on the bus.
Oh, okay.
So like I know what the names are. I understand the concept of it. I know isn't the guy's name like Ash or something?
Yes, yeah, it's Ash.
Yeah.
From like you've probably seen an episode of the TV show or something as a kid.
Yeah, so that's it. It was kind of confined to the bus because my parents were like, they found Pokemon cards in my bag or whatever, and they were kind of like, "Yeah, you're not doing that. You're not playing Pokemon."
That was a weird thing. Like that's a whole conversation we could have about like that period of time when Harry Potter was evil because there's magic in it. And it's
no, they were the same way about Harry Potter.
It's like Lord of the Rings over here waving. Lord of the Rings is like, "Hi, I'm like recognized as being a Christian text," and no one ever said don't read Lord of the Rings. But I don't read Harry Potter because there's magic in it. I was like, okay. And then also, I mean, I had friends that we'd go over, like, they'd babysit us or whatever, but we weren't allowed to get our Pokemon cards out of our bag because it's like, well, Pokemon. And I would be like, quick question. Can you explain what you mean by that we can't? And they were like, well, it's because it's evil. And I was like, even me as like a third grader was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't buy that.
I don't think my parents had that perspective on Pokemon.
It was more just like, that's dumb. Like, you're not getting into that.
Yeah, I think my dad was just like, "But put those away and go outside."
Gotcha. That I get, right? You kick the kid off the video game because they're playing video games and they mess around with this little thing too much, right? Baseball. Go play baseball. But we had kids that were like, we were friends with kids whose pastors told their parents that Pokemon was a cult. And so you couldn't even bring a Pikachu card into the house because that meant that Pokemon, like I still can't articulate because I never understood it.
Yeah, that's interesting. My parents were on board with that whole line of thinking in terms of Harry Potter.
Sure.
Like my mom was just kind of like, yeah, like the wizarding and witchcraft stuff, like I just don't really want you messing with that.
Yeah, well, that's a carryover.
I wasn't that interested anyways, so I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. And the Pokemon thing was more just like, that's just weird. Why don't you go outside? I was like, okay, whatever.
But like you were allowed to play Mario. If you wanted to play Mario Bros, it'd be like, there's Braden playing Mario Bros, right? Because for me, it's like, they're just both Nintendo games. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's such just a perspective thing. But yeah, I never understood it with Harry Potter either. Because it's like, well, actually, I do understand it. It's a carryover from D&D. And like that's for the D&D equals Satanism craze of the 80s is I wasn't around for. Or in the 90s, I guess. Like, oh, if they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, are you hearing those words? Dungeons, Dragons? Like, they're doing evil. And it's like, do you know what like this is? This is just like a way for nerds to hang out and like just talk about what if I lived in Lord of the Rings times. Like, that's all that's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I struggle with that stuff. But I get how, if you aren't informed about it and someone in authority just tells you, don't let your kids do this. And you're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, I'll tell them, don't stop. Anyway, Emily's question was about Harry Potter Wizards Unite, which is just Pokemon Go, but it's Harry Potter instead. So you're walking downtown and you click on these things. They're called foundables. I mean, there's nothing to spoil here for you, really, because this is all just made up for this game. And you click on a thing, and it's like, well, there's Buckbeak, but he's got a chain around his leg, so you got to release him. And so just like you threw a Pokeball at the Pokemon in Pokemon Go, you trace a little spell to try to unlock it, and it works or it doesn't. And then you get a Buckbeak. You get a piece of a Buckbeak or whatever. And you level up, and you brew potions, and you find potion ingredients on the ground. And you know how there's Pokestops, like the courthouse is a Pokestop. You walk by that, and it's like an inn, and you get some more spell energy, and you just keep it moving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had never really, Yeah, that was gonna be my question because like Pokemon Go, I get it. Like you're out catching Pokemon, so
right.
it's like
Just
that's the whole
like
idea of Pokemon, anyways. So
Yeah.
like, so I wasn't sure how that would like how Harry Potter would make that.
Oh, it doesn't
But
make
so
any
you
sense.
you literally like, do you like take your phone and like trace a like it would be a wand and you're like waving it?
No, your thumb on the phone screen is the wand, and it has an outline, and you follow that outline, and how well you do it, how close you stay to the line once it disappears is like how good of a spell you cast. And so then there is a plot. I won't get into that too much, but the whole plot is like, why is all this weird stuff happening? Why is that Buckbeak in a chain? Like, we got to figure it out. Like, who cast this spell? And like, that's the plot, I guess.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I do it. I dabble. I don't do it like incredibly hardcore. But I play most every day. I get on and kind of swipe around and see if there's anything going on. But where I work, there isn't an inn nearby to like recharge your energy. So you just run out of like your energy and then you can't do stuff. So you really have to like have the opportunity to walk up and down like a downtown. And it's good for people like in big cities where there's always something going on. But if you live out in the country, you're probably not going to have a lot of Severus Snape's caught in giant glass bottles for some reason spawning next to you. So
interesting. I did not know that was a thing. So Emily is asking if we have done that, and if not, she thinks we should do it together.
I have done it. Rachel has done it. She thinks that it would be a good discussion. That's probably the discussion that we've had right now. Is probably what she was hoping for. I hope.
There you go, Emily.
Yeah, maybe someday I'll make you play it and film you playing it or something. Rachel plays it with me. We go down and take out fortresses together, just like a gym would, you know. Fight werewolves and pixies mostly. So, Pokemon, Harry Potter. I call it Harry Potter Go.
Harry Potter. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you're telling me it's a marriage building activity.
It is, honestly, and it gets us. You know, we get to take George on a walk down to the park. That's the closest fortress. George likes it, so works out. Yes, I am playing it. I am a Ravenclaw. I chose the track of Professor instead of Auror or Magizoologist or Herbologist. There might only be 3. I don't remember. I'm a Professor, which means I'm better at like attacking the monsters in the fortresses or something. Yeah, it's interesting. It's not as addictive as Pokemon Go. People got crazy into it. Rachel still plays Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I'm honestly it's not that it surprises me, but it's been so fascinating to learn how deep and expansive like the Harry Potter culture is.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know, like just from Pottermore to this kind of thing to video games, like whatever it is, it's just been really, which like I said, I'm not surprised. Like people do this with Star Wars, people do this with Pokemon. I mean, it's the same thing as like people doing with sports or something, like getting just like living and dying by their favorite team. It's no different, but I didn't know this coming in. So it's fascinating when I hear about stuff like this.
Do you know what fan fiction is? I'm just gonna leave that there. Is that
that's like what Pottermore is, right?
No, Pottermore for the most part, like the part that anyone cares about is like stuff that JKR has written. And she's like, "Hey, I bet you didn't know this is how ghosts get made."
Oh, she posts on that?
Stuff like that. She did write stuff. Pottermore keeps changing. It's not like it's their different thing that it is. So it's difficult for me to explain it. But last time I went on, it's like, yeah, you get an article, you click on it, it says Rita Skeeter, and you just kind of get a little more Rita Skeeter. And it's like, oh, like that's Rita Skeeter's dad's name. Like she at one point said she was going to do an encyclopedia. And it seems like a lot of that information, like the extra like background stuff that she knew about in her head but you didn't know, sort of filtered down into this. Is kind of what it is. Fan fiction is you being like, what if Draco and Hermione were friends? But I could write a story about that. And it's like, you could, right? And you did. Thousands of you did write that. So thank you.
Okay. And where's all this kept? Just like an online forum?
On various websites, fanfic.net. There's some Harry Potter specific ones because fanfiction. I mean, there's Star Wars fanfiction. There's Lord of the Rings fanfiction. Sure. Harry Potter is one of the most famous and vocal ones that you know exists. And we're not going to get into everything about fanfiction because this is still right now a family friendly podcast. So that's why we're going to the third task. Thank you, Emily. I'm sure you wanted to hear all about all of that stuff. Chapter 31, the third task. We got a nice female/male lion as the cover art here. Yeah, it's a sphinx.
Yeah.
So I set this up kind of similarly with sort of broad overarching. I mean, we've got a little bit of lead up. Do you have any thoughts on Harry, Ron, Hermione? They're practicing spells that could be useful.
I feel like they're getting more efficient with their preparation for tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've kind of watched that evolve, like, you know, from the first task of having no idea what to do to like, okay, let's nail down some curses and some hexes, and like it's kind of a fine-tuned regimen now.
Yeah. Ron, you're going to be the guy that gets stunned. Hermione's the one that reads the books.
Yeah. It's a real team effort.
We do want to briefly touch on the latest Daily Prophet article that has come out. Harry Potter, disturbed and dangerous. Do we care?
It's annoying to me that like she's the only media outlet for like the Wizarding World. Like
Right.
She's the only one that people pay attention to.
She has like a monopoly on it, and so she can print whatever she wants. It's literally it's literally fake news.
It is.
It's what
it's really.
It's what others.
How is
want
there
you to
no
think
other
fake news is.
competitor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's frustrating.
I think that's my beef.
Let's see, I can do this. Pwah, 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 pwah.
Braden's beef.
You're beefing about ethics and journalism.
Yeah. I shouldn't be surprised after the way things like Quidditch are handled and the rules and regulations of that. But the fact that you've only got one true news source that people pay attention to is asinine.
I mean, we see it. Well, I'm not going to get into that in real life. Yeah. You know, I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. Like maybe this is just the only thing that Harry hears about. Maybe it's like it's the biggest news source to such extent that it's the only one that penetrates Hogwarts and like a kid would read, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's the only one we know about, so we have to take that at face value.
Right, but you know, like for me, like if I hear about somebody wrote a story about Malcolm Brogdon being the greatest point guard that the Eastern Conference has seen in 10 years, and here's why.
True, honestly,
like,
true.
I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to go read another source about Malcolm Brogdon, and like a third source, and like find a fourth article, and try to see if there's a common theme here of like, okay, everybody's kind of agreeing that Malcolm Brogdon is like an incredible point guard, and now I'm very excited as a Pacers fan.
Sure, as you should be.
Which is what happened to me this week. So that's what I'm annoyed at, is that like everyone's just kind of like, this one seems popular, I don't need to go anywhere else.
Even Mrs. Weasley. She turns, she's like, you know not to listen to Rita Skeeter, and then 10 minutes later is like, oh, hello, Hermione. And you're like, Molly, what's happening?
Yeah. That's disappointing. Like I don't know, I think when you read the story, it's almost like the Wizarding World is put on this pedestal in a way of like, man, the Muggles just have no idea. Like we do things better, and life is more exciting, and you know, we can fly around, and there's like this whole world that it's almost like Muggles are looked at as like kind of dim, you know, like if they only knew. And then there's like this stuff that it's like, yeah, but you guys look to TMZ for like all of your news media.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's like. Because when you're describing yourself as a media consumer, you were raised or was instilled in you in some way to be objective and an intelligent consumer of media. And I mean, even in real life, not everyone's that way. There's a lot of people that see that first thing that says what they want it to say, and they're like, awesome, great. Well, I'm glad this is the only thing that needs to be true.
No, that's how Fox and CNN have been built.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they are what they are.
Yes, it is.
That's why I don't read either one.
Right.
Not that we need to get into that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, nothing's totally objective, and so you got to read as many objective-ish things as you can and try to paint a big picture. But a lot of people don't do that. Many people do not do that. I mean, even myself, like, I will read most of the articles on The Ringer and what they think about basketball and so forth. And I read news articles on ESPN, but I don't read Kevin O'Connor give me 4,000 words on Klay Thompson running off screens and then go look at someone else's opinion on Klay Thompson. Because I'm like, yeah, I agree that Klay Thompson is underrated. And so like I'm not like, well, what does Bleacher Report think?
Yeah. No, I'm guilty of that too. Like, I find the thing I want to know about, and then if I like, so I am guilty of that, I guess.
But it's
now that I think about it.
But you researched finding someone whose opinion that you trust. And I do that with like history things. Like there's some like historians I follow on Twitter and stuff, and it's like they're more knowledgeable about this thing than I am. And I've done enough homework that I've decided to just kind of go with what they think going forward.
Yeah.
Because you can't be an expert on everything.
Right.
It's not like every single news tweet that you see, you can then spend 3 hours researching. Then you're like, okay, let's go back to the timeline. What's the next news tweet? So there's not so much you can do with that.
So.
But Rita Skeeter does seem oddly informed. Like, there's a lot of bull snark in here, but then there's a little bit of truth. Like, Harry did pass out during divination. And leave. He can
and we
speak
have a quote.
Parcel tongue that's true.
Right. And we have a direct quote from Draco Malfoy. So where do we think all this factual information came from?
I mean, Malfoy go Malfoy. We recently said that he's the only character we can trust.
We did say that. So presumably he was on the phone with Rita Skeeter when they catch him outside.
Yeah, but you haven't been listening to Hermione. Phones don't work at Hogwarts, Ron. You don't even know what a phone is. You're bad at phones, Ron. Rita Skeeter knows some stuff. She's somehow getting information. We don't have a solid theory, but Hermione does. Did you catch that? You guys see this? You hear about this? Hermione ran into the library going, oh, and touching her face a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what it is, but she's got a theory.
We don't even have a guess what it is?
She says, I think I know, because then no one would be able to see, even Moody, and she'd have been able to get onto the window ledge, but she's not allowed. She's definitely not allowed. I think we've got her. Just give me 2 seconds in the library just to make sure. Did she steal Harry's invisibility cloak?
But then Moody could see her.
So it's probably just some sort of like spell that Hermione knows from the history of Hogwarts and no one else knows.
Oh my gosh, she just did a special spell. Whatever, it's the not even Moody can see you spell. Gosh.
Yeah, I don't. Are we going to learn what it is in chapter 32?
Yeah, let me just tell you. Gosh. Wow, it's like have you been listening to the podcast? So the families are coming. How long did you believe that maybe Vernon was just mustaching in the back room?
Not even for a second.
You were like, you're wrong, McGonagall. They did not come. They would never.
Right. Although I secretly wanted them to. I wanted them to be like Hagrid went and kidnapped them and drugged them to the castle.
Yeah.
And so Vernon is like freaking out. Like mustaching hard.
Just like trying to brush the magic off of him like it's glitter.
Yeah. Yeah. And like kids are walking past him and he's like flinching and yeah, that'd have been funny.
It would have been, but I like to think that Dudley would have been like, This is actually pretty dope, Dad. Like, look at all this food.
Give me all the magic. I want it.
Like,
I want all the food. I want all the magic.
there's wizards that aren't hairy, and Harry's the worst, but maybe some of them aren't?
I have a feeling he would like
I
make
could
friends
bully
with
people.
Crabbe and Goyle.
Yeah. They got guys here who don't even hardly know magic. They just punch people,
Yeah.
Dad. And they get to
They
eat
would
as much
form
as
a
they want.
trio. The Fat Boys.
Crabbe and Goyle and Dudley. Crabbe and Goyle and Dursley, because they go by their last names.
Oh, really?
Did you know that? You thought their first names were Crabbe and Goyle?
I guess I hadn't really ever thought that hard about it, but
I'm sure I'm not spoiling it. I'm sure at some point earlier in the books that we just never thought about, they say their first names. It's Vincent Crabbe and Gregory Goyle. Vincent
Yeah.
Greg.
okay. Well, I didn't catch that if we talked about it earlier.
That's fine. Doesn't matter. So but the Weasleys showed up, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Molly and Bill.
Yeah, they're like his step parents. I appreciate it.
You get to see them interact with the other parents a little bit. Cedric's dad. Do we care about Cedric's dad here? That was one of the things I wrote down.
Yeah, because so I don't know if we explained this at the start of the show. I read 29 to 31 and then was told today that we're doing a live read of 32. So I don't know what happens after 31. So I'm left hanging with what we'll talk about, like how the Triwizard Tournament has ended so far.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like Cedric's dad is going to freak out.
Once he finds out that he purposely tied instead of just winning.
Yeah, he's going to punch his own son.
No, he's going to blame Harry. Well, classic Harry Potter couldn't let one other guy get any bit of glory.
He's going to throw Cedric into Harry.
Yeah.
Like he's going to punch Harry with Cedric's head.
Yeah. Right. Like Cedric is the pencil. And he's going to pencil into Harry's temple. Yeah. He's going to Cedric into him.
Yeah.
Because he's got something that he just needs everyone to know that his son's the best. I guess that's just called being an overbearing dad.
LeVar Ball.
Can you imagine like the Little League Quidditch team that Cedric was on and his dad would have coached? And it's just like, well, he's going to be the pitcher. He's going to be the seeker and the keeper. He's that good. Were you ever on a team like that coached by someone else's dad? Or was your dad the dad?
No, my dad was not the dad. I played on some like AAU basketball teams that like it wasn't that bad, but there was a hint of it.
Sure.
You know.
Okay. So then my last 2 points are, the first one is just what's your general maze vibe and the things that happen in the maze in terms of Fleur, in terms of Crumb. And then the other one is we can get into the obstacles, specifically the Harry encounters. So first, what's your takeaway from the maze as a thing, as a task, and the big picture stuff that happens with it?
I mean, I think it makes sense for the final task. It kind of combines, like it's the final thing that encompasses what it means to be like the best wizard, right?
Yeah,
like you're going to have to do a lot of different things.
Yeah. Survival, skill, power.
Yeah. So should I go ahead and get into my opinions on like what's happening inside?
Yeah, sure. Give me all of it.
So it's a lot less exciting than I thought it would be.
Because it's too
like I feel like
big?
most of the maze is Harry just like running through blank space.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there's a blast-ended Scroot. And oh, there's some weird mist that turned me upside down. But now I'm running through blank area again. And
It sure did turn
I
him
made
upside down. Harry was so scared of it. And then it was like, ooh, the secret is you got to walk.
That was weird and random. So I guess I just expected there to be more obstacles and more frequent. It just seemed like there was a lot of time spent just like running.
It's the difference between a Tough Mudder and a Warrior Dash. Does that doesn't land at all for you? One of them, I don't know which one it is. One of them's shorter and has more obstacles, and the other one has more running in it.
I've never heard of the Tough Mudder.
Really?
But I've heard of the Warrior Dash. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not super well versed in like
That world.
fitness races.
Yeah.
But like my brother-in-law has done the Warrior Dash, I think.
John, you have so many brother-in-laws.
That's true. I think John might have, and I'm pretty sure Hank did.
Oh wow, that's another brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just when you didn't have enough. Brock is your brother-in-law.
Yeah. I have dope brother-in-laws.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And Mitchell.
Yeah. Mitchell is a frequent listener of the pod.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it many times. What are Brock's kids to you?
They are my nieces and nephews. I am their uncle. I am their fun uncle. I am their funkle.
Are you going to remain their funkle now that Hank Horner exists in their family?
We're kind of like, we're dual funkles.
Yeah.
Like when we're both in the room, like there's a ton of fun happening.
There's a lot of like being picked up and spun around in the air.
We're getting chucked onto couches. We're throwing balls. Things are breaking.
Yeah.
We're yelling. Yeah, it's fun.
Grandma Rogers is like, can we chill a little bit? She's like, maybe can we take this out to the trampoline?
Yeah.
That Rogge didn't break?
There's way too many like Crawfordsville references going on right now. People have already hit the 30-second button a lot.
There's not enough Crawfordsville references. I want to be talking about Robbie O'Gwyn. I want to be talking about I want to be talking about Caleb Rasmussen. I want it all.
Let's get back to Harry Potter.
Okay. There's not enough happening in the maze. There's something going on with Crumb.
Something crummy.
Fleur screamed. We know that. And then later, Crumb was it straight up attacking Cedric, just directly. What's your take on that?
Trying to put a Crucio on him, right?
Yeah, he sure is.
Which, like, it's one of the unforgivable curses. You can't do that.
It's not an option.
So I like Harry's quick wit of coming up behind him, and I think he just stuns him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a turn of events. Like, I thought that Karkaroff was still evil and like Crumb was just sort of caught in the crossfire. Like, well, I don't know, he's my professor, so I just kind of do what he says. You know, because like if he had the chance to hurt Harry, he could have done it when he was asking him about Hermione in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So this was interesting to me.
So you think, do we have any possible explanation for his behavior here?
I don't know if like, do Cedric and Harry look alike enough that maybe he mistaked him for Harry?
Then why wouldn't he have just attacked him earlier? If that was his goal, was to attack Harry.
Yeah.
Is he just straight up attacking his competitors so he can win?
I mean, I could see that.
Is he under someone else's magical control?
That seems more likely because, I mean, if you win after putting your opponent under an unforgivable curse, like that's going to be found out.
Unforgivable? You ever see that YouTube video?
Unforgivable. Yeah.
Waffle fries.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that one.
Jeremy, I'm setting a marker right here. Just FYI, like 3 different times I tried to set a marker and instead it just stopped recording. And then started recording again. Like I noticed it immediately that I'd done it. I was like, I clicked it and I was like, that wasn't right. I have made a mistake. So we got like just 3 smaller chunks to edit. But it shouldn't materially impact the editing process, right? Okay, sweet. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Let me set a marker here. I get what you're saying is that like it's not win by any means necessary. It's win and also be legal.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win by using a curse that would get you thrown in Azkaban. Like I mean, that doesn't seem. That's just dumb.
You just think you're going to get away with it?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's any way you could, because they're not gonna let the other contestants die in this maze. They're gonna go find them, and then when they see that they're writhing in pain from a Crucio curse, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, Crumb, why don't you hop on into Azkaban?
Okay. We talked about one obstacle. We saw the mist. We had a boggart before that turned into a Dementor. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Harry didn't even really flinch. He took that thing head on and disposed of it quickly.
So that's kind of emerging as like a skill. Like we can rely on Harry being able to dispose of a Dementor situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a Sphinx. So that's a fun riddle situation. Walk me through how you were reading that, and were you just on Harry's track the whole time?
No, not at all.
I figured it out immediately.
No, I was like, I read it and had no idea. I'm looking for the riddle itself. First, think of the person who lives in disguise, who deals in secrets and tells naught but lies. Next, tell me what's always the last thing to mend, the middle of middle and end of end. And finally, give me the sound often heard during the search for a hard-to-find word. Now string them together and answer me this. Which creature would you be unwilling to kiss? Spider. Yeah, fun little riddle.
Do you get it? The middle of middle and end of end. You get it?
I didn't get that part. The other two made sense to me.
It's the letter D. You can find in the middle of the word middle and the end of the word end. And the last thing in the word mend.
Okay. I'm with you.
So that was good. We got a riddle from a Sphinx.
I like how when Harry asks the Sphinx questions, it just smiles at him.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, wait, that wasn't my guess. Don't eat me. I love that the answer is spider, and Harry's like, answer, spider. All right, moving about my day. I'm not going to be concerned about spiders going forward.
Yeah.
He just didn't even think about it.
Yeah. I was really hoping this was the last book was kind of the last of the spiders, but...
No, we got another giant. It seems like one of Hagrid's little buddies.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that spider, Harry comes upon the spider at the same time as he comes upon Cedric.
Yes, so they both try to... I think Harry tries to stun it, and Cedric... I forget what Cedric uses, but something along those lines.
Yeah, they're just firing spells at it, but it's a spider, so you can't curse it because spiders, obviously.
Right. It's just kind of laughing at him. But they end up using the two together, basically.
Yeah, and I think they got under the belly. That's kind of how it always works with a spider, right? We said that's its weak point.
Yeah. So then...
But it did successfully pick Harry up and like bite him in the leg and stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like he is pretty seriously injured, like having trouble putting any weight on this leg and it's bleeding. So then it's just like this awkward back and forth between him and Cedric of like, okay, go ahead and take it. No, you take it. No, seriously, you take it.
Seriously? You're not going to take it?
Seriously, just take it.
So
you serious? I'm not taking it.
Whose side do you fall on here? Who's making more sense?
Cedric.
Interesting. Why?
Because Harry has earned it. And not that Cedric hasn't, but like Cedric doesn't make it this far without Harry.
Harry has saved Cedric 3 times by my count at this point.
Right.
Told him about the dragons, saved him from Crumb, told him about the spider.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Harry wasn't such a stand-up guy, he would just take it because he deserves it.
But also, like, I mean, Cedric could have just beat him. Like, he would have made it to the end.
Yeah, no, I like Cedric. Like, I appreciate him being able to step back and realize that, like, okay, I'm not even, like, alive right now if Harry doesn't not care about winning and care more about, like, everybody's safety in this competition. So
He does say, like, you stayed and made sure everyone got up safely. Like, I should have done that.
yeah.
And it's like, now that I think about it, that would have been the Cedric. That would have been the Hufflepuff move.
Yeah. But Cedric's Hogwarts.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he's a Hufflepuff.
I thought he was a Gryffindor.
No, he's a Hufflepuff. You said Hogwarts. I was like, yeah, he does go to Hogwarts.
Sometimes Hogwarts and Gryffindor are like synonymous for me sometimes.
Ravenclaws are just like, wow, okay. Yep. Getting all the glory. Stupid lions. Dumb old lions. Okay, so can you see this being a good relationship going forward? Like Harry and Cedric. Cedric and Harry like have an understanding at this point. Like they could be maybe allies like out in life in the anti-Voldemort fight.
Yeah, I hope so.
Despite
I
Cedric's
don't know.
dad.
I don't know if Amos is gonna let that happen, but we'll find
He
out.
wants to be famous.
Famous Amos.
Wow. I didn't even know about that, but then I got it. But Cedric is 17. Cedric's like trying to graduate like right now. So there's only so much more that he's under his dad's thumb. Right?
Yeah.
So we like Cedric. We're in on Cedric.
Yes.
With Crumb, we are in on. We're out on Crumb. Crumb attacks Cedric.
Yeah. We're out on Crumb. He likes Hermione.
Gross.
He's got a unibrow. Like I don't have any time for Crumb.
Okay, Fleur can't even get past the first step in any of these.
She should not be in this competition. Like she can't handle
Fleur
it.
out of there. Let's get Hermione in.
Yeah.
Let's just
For
have
real.
the best people in on merit.
Yes.
Okay. We're okay with them grabbing the cup at the same time and taking the joint win, the co-win. Or
We'll see.
We're annoyed. We think Harry should have gotten it. What do you mean we'll see?
I don't know. I'm not annoyed really. Like I don't think they're gonna let that happen. I think they're gonna make Cedric and Harry like fight Stone Circle Deathmatch or something.
It's a Hunger Games situation where they're like, new rule, you can win as a team, and then they go, new rule, you have to kill one of you has to kill the other one.
Yeah, I think Ludo's gonna be like, oh, we can't end in a tie. Like you guys, okay, let's see who the true wizard is. Like whoever leaves the maze alive.
Oh, convenient because Ludo has a different agenda going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. It doesn't bother me, the idea of them tying. I don't care. Like
Right.
I've never really been into this Triwizard tournament in terms of like wanting Harry to win. I want Harry to figure out where Voldemort is.
That's winning.
Yeah.
Do we still think that Ludo has you posited that he bet on Harry to win? Is that what you thought?
Yeah, I got that from like the scene where he's like conversing with goblins in the bar or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think he's got some sort of weird vested interest in Harry.
Well, that's like a hedge, because if he's evil, then it's like, okay, Harry and Cedric. If Cedric kills Harry, then good, Harry's dead. If Harry wins, like that's bad because Harry's still alive, but I still get a bunch of money from it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
I think he's evil. I think he's helping out Ted Voldemort.
Okay, I've got a couple Do We Cares before I roll into the live read. Do we care about Og, the groundskeeper before Hagrid?
A little bit. I wanted to know some backstory on Og.
A man
Like,
called
did
Og.
Yeah. I want a spin-off movie that's called A Man Called Og.
Do we care about Molly just going on about her time at Hogwarts? Oh yeah, the one time that your dad and I got back in at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that got a little.
And she said,
little
I
AMP
wrote this
after
quote
dark.
down here. She wrote the quote down. Your father's still got the marks. Like,
As
what
we
does that
stated
mean?
previously, this is a family-friendly podcast, so I am not going to go into that.
He's still got the marks. Moral fiber. I don't know. We're not going to talk about it, but we care about it.
Oh yeah, we care about it.
Okay. Are you
We're
ready
just going to care
for
about it on a different show.
Are you ready for chapter 32?
Let's do it.
Okay. Before you flip to it, I'm going to give you the chapter title, okay?
Okay.
Flesh, Blood, and Bone. What does that mean? It's Wizard, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Harry versus Cedric.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be perfect. I think they throw the sword out there from Dumbledore's office.
Yes.
And they blindfold both of them. Like whichever one of you can get to it first and stab the other one.
Wow. There's some
I don't know.
scroots in there.
Yeah.
Hagrid just comes in. He's like, Ludo, I got this. This needs to be a more Scroot-centric tournament. We got one in there, and that's fine. Let's get you in there in a room. There's like 4 Scroots. Okay. That'll really determine who's man enough to win this.
Yeah, I don't think
Flesh,
we're done with
blood,
the
and
creatures
bone.
yet.
We care about the Scroots. Scroots are back on the menu.
Yeah. I think that this is meant, like, I think that there's going to be another task, not another task, but another portion to this task. Like,
Right.
that's the whole idea is you think you won, you think you got to the cup, and now you have to, like, defend the cup from a freaking
Yes.
owlbird.
Yes. Yes, from Harry's dream.
Yeah.
It was Ludo like plugging in information to him like,
Yeah.
this is a hint about what's to come.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, flesh, blood, and bone. You there?
Yep.
Are we? We'll just stop at stopping points. When you have something to say, just wave or something, and then we'll stop, and then you can say it. Even if that is just holy crap. Just okay.
So I need to wave at you if I need to say
Well,
holy crap.
just make it clear.
Okay.
And I have an idea too of when we're going to want to stop. I've got a pretty good feel for it at this point. Harry felt his feet slam into the ground. His injured leg gave way, and he fell forward. His hand let go of the Triwizard Cup at last. He raised his head. "Where are we?" he said. Cedric shook his head. Okay. That's quite a response. "Where are we?" No. Just no.
No.
He got
not okay.
It's not okay. He got up, pulled Harry to his feet, and they looked around. They had left the Hogwarts ground completely. They had obviously traveled miles, perhaps hundreds of miles,
Underneath the school.
for even the mountains surrounding the castle were gone. They were standing instead in a dark and overgrown graveyard. The black outline of a small church was visible beyond a large yew tree to their right. A hill rose above them to their left. Harry could just make out the outline of a fine old house on the hillside. Excuse me. Cedric looked down at the Triwizard Cup and then up at Harry. "Did anyone tell you the cup was a portkey?" he asked. "Nope," said Harry. He was looking around the graveyard. It was completely silent and slightly eerie. Is this supposed to be part of the task? So you sounded good, your theory that there's another part to the task now.
Mm-hmm.
"I don't know," said Cedric. He sounded slightly nervous. "Wands out, do you reckon?" "Yeah," said Harry, glad that Cedric had made the suggestion rather than him. They pulled out their wands. Harry kept looking around. He had, yet again, the strange feeling that they were being watched. "Someone's coming," he said suddenly. Squinting tensely through the darkness, they watched the figure drawing nearer, walking steadily toward them between the graves. Harry couldn't make out a face, but from the way it was walking and holding its arms, he could tell that it was carrying something. Whoever it was, he was short, and wearing a hooded cloak pulled up over his head to obscure his face. And several paces nearer, the gap between them closing all the time, Harry saw that the thing in the person's arms looked like a baby. Or was it merely
Wormtail?
Was it merely a bundle of robes? So right
It
now
was
you're
a little
like
tadpole.
Right now you're like it's Wormtail and Tadpoldemort.
Yeah. And he's just hissing at Wormtail like, "Hold me higher! Higher!"
Fool.
Yeah.
So Harry's response to this is Harry lowered his wand slightly. Oh, and I know these guys, Cedric. It's cool. That's Wormtail. That's Tadpoldemort. I've been checking in on them like a couple times this last year. These are my guys.
You can head back, bro.
Just grab the cup again. I don't know. Harry lowered his wand slightly and glanced sideways at Cedric. Cedric shot him a quizzical look. They both turned back to watch the approaching figure. It stopped beside a towering marble headstone, only 6 feet from them. For a second, Harry and Cedric and the short figure simply looked at one another. And then, without warning, Harry's scar exploded with pain. It was agony such as he had never felt in all his life. His wand slipped from his fingers as he put his hands over his face. His knees buckled. He was on the ground and he could see nothing at all. His head was about to split open. From far away, above his head, he heard a high, cold voice say, "Kill the spare." A swishing noise and a second voice, which screeched the words to the night, "Avada Kedavra!" A blast of green light blazed through Harry's eyelids, and he heard something heavy fall to the ground beside him. The pain in his scar reached such a pitch that he retched, and then it diminished. Terrified of what he was about to see, he opened his stinging eyes. Cedric was lying spread-eagled on the ground beside him. He was dead.
Holy crap.
Told you. So is or is not Cedric dead right now? Is he dead?
I feel like he's not dead.
Okay.
But he's pretty dead.
He's just mostly dead.
Yeah.
Princess Bride? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
For a second that contained an eternity, Harry stared into Cedric's face, at his open gray eyes, blank and expressionless as the windows of a deserted house, at his half-open mouth, which looked slightly surprised. And then, before Harry's mind had accepted what he was seeing, before he could feel anything but numb disbelief, he felt himself being pulled to his feet. The short man in the cloak had put down his bundle, lit his wand, and was dragging Harry toward the marble headstone. Harry saw the name upon it flickering in the wand light before he was forced around and slammed against it. Tom Riddle. Does that name mean anything to you?
So that's Voldemort's grave? Question mark?
That is Voldemort's name. The cloaked man was now conjuring tight cords around Harry, tying him from neck to ankles to the headstone. Harry could hear shallow, fast breathing from the depths of the hood. He struggled, and the man hit him with a hand that had a finger missing. And Harry realized what was under the hood. It was Wormtail. You realized it before Harry did.
I did.
You! He gasped. You! But Wormtail, who had finished conjuring the ropes, did not reply. He was busy checking the tightness of the cords, his fingers trembling uncontrollably, fumbling over the knots. Once sure that Harry was bound so tightly to the headstone that he couldn't move an inch, Wormtail drew a length of some black material from the inside of his cloak and stuffed it roughly into Harry's mouth. Then, without a word, he turned from Harry and hurried away. Harry couldn't make a sound, nor could he see where Wormtail had gone. He couldn't turn his head to see beyond the headstone. He could see only what was right in front of him. Cedric's body was lying some 20 feet away. Some way beyond him, glinting in the starlight, lay the Triwizard Cup. Harry's wand was on the ground at Cedric's feet. The bundle of robes that Harry had thought was a baby was close by, at the foot of the grave. It seemed to be stirring fretfully. Harry watched it, and his scar seared with pain again, and he suddenly knew that he didn't want to see what was in those robes. He didn't want that bundle to open. He could hear noises at his feet. He looked down and saw a gigantic snake slithering through the grass, circling the headstone where he was tied. Wormtail's fast, wheezy breathing was growing louder again. It sounded as though he was forcing something heavy across the ground. Then he came back within Harry's range of vision, and Harry saw him pushing a stone cauldron to the foot of the grave. It was full of what seemed to be water. Harry could hear it sloshing around. And it was larger than any cauldron Harry had ever used. A great stone belly large enough for a full-grown man to sit in. So what are your thoughts at this point? Predict something here. What's about to happen? Why is there a giant cauldron?
It's a giant pensive.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna steal Harry's memories?
Or they're just going to boil him alive.
Voldemort's like, you know what? This kid's been a thorn in my side for long enough.
And I'm freaking hungry, so let's eat him.
Wow. I've been just
Let's
living
cook
off
him.
snake milk
Yeah.
for months. What I wouldn't give for some boy. Jeez. Okay, and do you have any reaction to the fact that this is Harry saved Wormtail's life last year? Do we care about that at this exact second? That we're like, man, like I saved your life, and you're coming at me with this bullcrap right now?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, but
I know.
that's real.
It's
Yeah.
like a deep cut angle. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like can you not right now, Wormtail?
Yeah, if he gets out of this, he should definitely not leave before like killing Wormtail
Right, like he made that mistake before.
or like feeding him to Nagini.
Yeah, who's got to be hungry.
Right.
Okay. The thing inside the bundle of robes on the ground was stirring more persistently, as though it was trying to free itself. Now Wormtail was busying himself at the bottom of the cauldron with a wand. Suddenly, there were crackling flames beneath it. The large snake slithered away into the darkness. The liquid in the cauldron seemed to heat very fast. The surface began not only to bubble, but to send out fiery sparks, as though it were on fire. Steam was thickening, blurring the outline of Wormtail tending the fire. The movement beneath the robes became more agitated, and Harry heard the high, cold voice again. Harry! The whole... What?
Oi!
You going so slow for? Yeah, I should just use Stan Shunpike voice for Voldemort. Oi, hurry! The whole surface of the water was alight with sparks now. It might have been encrusted with diamonds. It is ready, master. Now, said the cold voice. Wormtail pulled open the robes on the ground, revealing what was inside them, and Harry let out a yell that was strangled in the wad of material blocking his mouth. It was as though Wormtail had flipped over a stone and revealed something ugly, slimy, and blind, but worse, 100 times worse. The thing Wormtail had been carrying had the shape of a crouched human child, except that Harry had never seen anything less like a child. It was hairless and scaly looking, a dark, raw, reddish black. Ugh. Its arms and legs were thin and feeble, and its face, no child alive ever had a face like that. Flat and snake-like, with gleaming red eyes. The thing seemed almost helpless. It raised its thin arms, put them around Wormtail's neck, and Wormtail lifted it. As he did so, his hood fell back, and Harry saw the look of revulsion on Wormtail's weak, pale face in the firelight as he carried the creature to the rim of the cauldron. Wormtail, you're an idiot. For one moment, Harry saw the evil, flat face illuminated in the sparks dancing on the surface of the potion, and then Wormtail lowered the creature into the cauldron. There was a hiss, and it vanished below the surface. Harry heard its frail body hit the bottom with a soft thud. Let it drown, Harry thought, his scar burning almost past endurance. Please, let it drown. Wormtail was speaking. His voice shook. He seemed frightened beyond his wits. He raised his wand, closed his eyes, and spoke to the knight. Bone of the father, unknowingly given, you will renew your son. The surface of the grave at Harry's feet cracked. Horrified, Harry watched as a fine trickle of dust rose into the air at Wormtail's command and fell softly into the cauldron. The diamond surface of the water broke and hissed. It sent sparks in all directions and turned a vivid, poisonous-looking blue. And now Wormtail was whimpering. He pulled a long, thin, shining silver dagger from inside his cloak. His voice broke into petrified sobs. Flesh of the servant, willingly given, you will revive your master. He stretched his right hand out in front of him. the hand with the missing finger. He gripped the dagger very tightly in his left hand and swung it upward. Harry realized what Wormtail was about to do a second before it happened. He closed his eyes as tightly as he could, but he could not block the scream that pierced the night, that went through Harry as though he had been stabbed with a dagger too. He heard something fall to the ground, heard Wormtail's anguished panting, then a sickening splash as something was dropped in the cauldron. Harry couldn't stand to look, but the potion had turned a burning red. The light of it shone through Harry's closed eyelids. So what did he do?
I can't tell. Did he cut off his own
Hand.
Okay.
He
I
stuck it
thought he
out.
was going to like kill himself, but
Right.
he just cut off his hand and put it in there.
He stuck it out and then swung the dagger up, and apparently it's sharp enough to cut through your whole wrist. Situation.
Yeesh.
Cut off his whole hand. Okay. Wormtail was gasping and moaning with agony. Not until Harry felt Wormtail's anguished breath on his face did he realize that Wormtail was right in front of him. Blood of the enemy, forcibly taken. You will resurrect your foe. Harry could do nothing to prevent it. He was tied too tightly. Squinting down, struggling hopelessly at the ropes binding him, he saw the shining silver dagger shaking in Wormtail's remaining hand. He felt its point penetrate the crook of his right arm and blood seeping down the sleeve of his torn robes. Wormtail, still panting with pain, fumbled in his pocket for a glass vial and held it to Harry's cut so that a dribble of blood fell into it. He staggered back to the cauldron with Harry's blood. He poured it inside. The liquid within turned instantly a blinding white. Wormtail, his job done, dropped to his knees beside the cauldron, then slumped sideways and lay on the ground, cradling the bleeding stump of his arm, gasping and sobbing. So things are going great.
This is freaking intense.
What's about to happen?
I would assume that Voldemort has what he needs and he emerges as like a teenager now.
Oh, like the one we saw from the diary?
Yeah.
The cauldron was simmering, sending its diamond sparks in all directions, so blindingly bright that it turned all else to velvety blackness. Nothing happened. Let it have drowned, Harry thought. Let it have gone wrong. I mean, and that's not bad. It's like Wormtail could screw up a potion, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, the sparks emanated from the cauldron were extinguished. A surge of white steam billowed thickly from the cauldron, instead obliterating everything in front of Harry so that he couldn't see Wormtail or Cedric or anything but vapor hanging in the air. It's gone wrong, he thought. It's drowned. Please, please let it be dead. But then, through the mist in front of him, he saw, with an icy surge of terror, the dark outline of a man, tall and skeletally thin, rising slowly from the cauldron. Robe me, said the high, cold voice. Robe me. Should I do the high, cold voice? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Okay. Robe me, said the high, cold voice from behind the steam. And Wormtail, sobbing and moaning, still cradling his mutilated arm, scrambled to pick up the black robes from the ground, got to his feet, reached up, and pulled them one-handed over his master's head. The thin man stepped out of the cauldron, staring at Harry, and Harry stared back into the face that had haunted his nightmares for 3 years, wider than a skull, with wide, livid scarlet eyes and a nose that was as flat as a snake's, with slits for nostrils. Lord Voldemort had risen again.
Whoa.
Thoughts? Stream of consciousness.
I am disappointed in really just all of the staff of Hogwarts for not seeing this coming, for letting this happen on their watch.
For letting what happen? What happened to cause this?
I don't know. I think Ludo Bagman set this up.
Because, so Hedrick, I keep saying Hedrick. Cedric said that the cup was a port key. Do you think that is accurate?
Yeah, I suppose it could be.
And then, so the idea is that Ludo Bagman would have had access to that cup.
Yeah, or like... Man, I don't know. I don't know if like Karkaroff had Crumb go in and like swap out the real
Oh, sure.
trophy for a port key, and then Crumb was actually like coming back through to like get rid of Floor and
Cedric
get rid of Floor and Cedric so that
make
Harry
sure
could be
Harry
like,
did it. Yeah.
yeah, make sure Harry got to the port key. Dang. Again, though, I'm disappointed. Like, how did Dumbledore not see this coming? Where's Sirius?
Chilling in a cave outside Hogsmeade as a dog, eating a rat.
It's not good enough.
He's trying, man. So the idea is that Dumbledore should have been sitting there by the cup. They should
I
double
just
check
feel
the
like
cup.
if you're going to have the Triwizard tournament at your school, you should have more control, right? Over
Mhm.
what's going on.
Yeah. And so, excuse me. So from your perspective, there's kind of too many people that would have had access to this cup to turn it into a port key.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
That's not quite safe. Question, is Harry getting out of this? Harry is currently tied absolutely head to foot to a gravestone in front of a fully alive, bodied Voldemort. Cedric's dead. Harry doesn't have a wand.
Yeah, I think the only way that he does is if Moody or Sirius show up out of nowhere.
Just comes galloping in, comes dog galloping in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how else. I mean, like you said, he's pretty well tied up, and I don't see how he could get himself out of this. So somebody's going to have to come in, and I know they will because this series has more books.
Sure.
So like Harry lives somehow. So
The other ones could be
I'm
just
guessing
about Ron and Hermione.
Sirius. Yeah. I'm kind of guessing Sirius comes jogging in as a dog and like sacrifices himself.
Oh, wow.
Like I think Sirius will die.
'Cause
Unfortunately.
we just had our first real death. I mean, Quirrell had died, but Cedric just died. Should we talk about that? Cedric dead.
For sure. Like he's dead.
I mean, as far as we know, what information do you have that would indicate that he's only mostly dead?
I don't. That's a bummer.
You want it to be true.
I kind of like Cedric.
Yeah.
I really wish now that maybe he would have been the only one to take the Triwizarding Cup.
He like shows up in the graveyard and Wormtail's like, "Oh, jeez. Dang it. Dang it.
You fool!
Bagman, dang it."
Yeah,
Yeah, that would have been good.
it's crazy.
But even if
Did not
just
see this
Harry
coming.
had grabbed it, then at least just Harry would be in the situation and Cedric would still be alive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer Cedric had to die. But if we're looking on the bright side, Cho is available now.
Oh, jeez. Hey, Cho. It's been a month, and so like, are you ready? Do you think you're ready to like think about a serious relationship again? You're still pretty. You're still
I'm
a place
alive.
seeker. Yeah, so that's a plus. Ever heard of Harry Potter? Ever think of a little thing called a scar?
This is brutal.
It was your idea.
I know. I feel bad about it, but
I regret everything. So Harry is going to have Sirius. You mentioned Moody could also maybe come.
yeah, maybe Moody's the more likely sacrifice because we have to have a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher next year.
It's just how it works at this point.
Yeah. Moody just recognizes it's his time to go.
But didn't
so he goes
Moody
to
straight up
sacrifice.
tell them on like the first day that he was only planning on teaching this 1 year anyway? Because Ron was like, "What? You're not coming back? But I love you."
Maybe he knew. He's just like, well, at some point, you're going to meet Voldemort, probably miles beneath the school, and I'll have to sacrifice myself. in order to get you
Let's
out.
circle back to that. In your estimation, are we currently miles beneath Hogwarts?
We don't have anything that proves that we're not.
Other than the fact that they're in a graveyard and there's trees and hills and stuff and a house in the
But
distance.
it's magic, Rogge.
Okay. Okay. Sure. That's fine.
Yeah, it is.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. They're beneath the school. Moody or Sirius is going to come in because those are the two most likely people. So here's the deal. It's in your estimation, it's got to be one of them because they'd be the most likely people to have like a tracker of some kind on Harry.
Yes.
Some kind of microchip situation, like a Magcro chip.
Yeah, and that's why I'm shocked, I guess, that Sirius hasn't made it in there before now, because I feel like he's been so worried about it and like almost knew it was coming. So I would have thought that he would be nearby this Triwizard, like the third task, the maze.
I mean, he went to one of Harry's Quidditch matches last year.
Right.
Hannah, thoughts? Harry just got cut. He just got nicked with a knife on the elbow. We've got some injuries here. Some real life Muggle injuries. Let's get her on the line.
Yeah, she's gone.
I wanted it.
Yeah. She's a hard one to catch.
Yeah. Any other big picture? So right now, how badly do you want to just start reading the next page?
Pretty bad. Pretty annoyed that you made me stop.
So we're going to... Does this make you want to record next week before you come to Warsaw?
I
mean, we could record on Sunday for all I care. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty open to either way because I could see. I obviously want to know what happens, but I also could see it being fun, like kind of shoring up, like ending everything like together in person.
mm-hmm.
So I'll let you make that call.
So we're going to kind of bundle these next two chapters together. So we can probably have it both. We can probably have it both ways. We could do like a 2-chapter episode on Sunday or something and then save the last 3 for doing in person and kind of wrap up the book, watch the movie. So for those of you reading at home, you're going to want to look at chapters 33 and 34 before next episode. I'm not saying that like there's definitely going to be a special guest on an upcoming episode, but I'm saying that I'm working on it.
How special?
Pretty special. Let's just say... No, that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't understand that reference.
Is your mom coming on to live read the end of the book?
My mom does. My mom does live in Warsaw. I'm texting.
Jeremy is going to live read the last chapters.
Oh man, please, Jeremy, come on the pod. Holy cow, that would be great. He kind of has his voice back.
Perfect. He can probably do a really good Voldemort right now.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm texting the secret guest. Harry's stuck in a graveyard. Voldemort's back. He's got just a full-on body. It's Wormtail's fault. And Cedric's
he's no longer Tadpoldemort.
No.
What do tadpoles evolve into? Frogdemort, yeah.
But he doesn't have anything to do with a frog. He was just the tadpole equivalent of a Voldemort. He evolved like a Pokemon. Wow. Brought it back.
Crazy.
Sirius is going to come riding in, sacrifice himself as a dog. Oh, even more sad.
Moody is going to come in riding Sirius.
Wow.
As a dog.
That's so true. Because Moody only he's got the one wooden leg. It's going to be tough for him to like get up to speed.
Right.
Does he have a saddle or is he going bareback?
I don't know.
Wait, why wouldn't they just both? Why aren't they just both riding Buckbeak?
That's a good point. At some point, this owl bird has to enter the equation.
Name it.
Like as in its technical term, or just like a fun pet name?
No, like the name. Like if it was your pet, what would it be named?
Oh, it would be named Pete.
Pete the Owlbird.
Yeah, I like simple names for animals. Like I've always kind of wanted a bulldog named like Steve.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my childhood dog was Charlie, and my dog now is George. So I get it.
Yeah, I like that. Or like a bulldog named Rick.
I like Rick. So hopefully this owl swoops down and saves us, because we're kind of in a predicament right here.
Yes.
Emily called in and howled. We want to thank her for that. Thanks, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
That was good. I don't know how to do that. Okay. If
Thanks.
you would like to come in and howl like Chad, call the howler. 978 Potter 0 978 768 8370. Call in, howl at us about Harry Potter Go, or the way that media is constructed in the wizarding world, or about Dungeons and Dragons and its relationship to Satanism, devil worship. Actually, I don't know if I want to hear you talk about that. You might not get right on the air.
Seems like a can of worms right there.
If you're serious about that, then like, I just can't express how much this is not the podcast for you.
I'd like to read it, but maybe just put it in text form, like email us.
And then we'll have Jeremy read it on the pod.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm in for that.
Where can if someone wanted to both like the podcast and physically like it, where would they have to go?
I think they would go to mugglepodcast.com, right?
Mm-hmm. Mugglespodcast.com.
Yeah.
That'll get you to your Instagram, recently revived. Rachel has started posting on Instagram again. Shouts. That'll get you to Facebook. You're going to want to be on Instagram, honestly. I know this is not going to come out in time, and I'm sorry, okay? You're not going to hear this, but Braden is coming to Warsaw, and we're going to Instagram live like right before the movie, and I'm going to be like, what scene are you most looking forward to? And you're going to be like, Quidditch or something. Like, it's going to happen. You're going to get on Instagram live. So follow us on Instagram so you can be a part of that.
Bingo.
Any closing thoughts, Braden?
Rip Cedric.
I was going to press that no matter what you said, and now I'm sorry.
And now Harry slides into Cho's DMs.
Woof. Too soon. Like Harry's like got his phone. He's tied to this graveyard, but he's just typing the letter U and space and then up and then question mark. And like that's all he's sending. Jeez, Harry. My guy's 14. Like he's got plenty of time.
The next message just says said dead. CED space DED.
DED, yeah. And it's not that she's confused, like she gets it. She knows exactly what's happening.
Oh, we need to end this before I get in trouble.
Thank you to Jeremy and Jessica. Thank you to George Weasley for not barking during this. Thanks to Hannah. Actually, thanks rescinded. Hannah, come on the pod if you want to get thanked. I had some medical questions.
Thanks, listeners.
Thanks, Bo.